Let's head to the Hood Canal now. Recreational shellfish harvesting is closed in several areas there after dangerous levels of a shellfish poison was detected. Paralytic shellfish poison, or PSP, is the concern from the Department of Health. To find out more about this poison and how to stay safe, we're joined by Jerry Borchert of our state's health department. Thanks for coming on the show, Jerry.
It's good to be here. Thank you for the invite.
So can you explain what PSP is and how this happens?
Sure. That's a complex question there, but I'll give it a go. So paralytic shellfish poison is a naturally occurring marine biotoxin. It's part of the environment. We've been monitoring for it for decades. There's a long history of it, going all the way back to 1793 when Captain Vancouver was doing some exploration here in the Pacific Northwest, and some of his crew members ate some mussels up in British Columbia and got paralytic shellfish poison exposure and died. So it's got a long history, and it just grows as part of the plankton, microscopic particles, plant particles in water that produce oxygen. And there's a few that produce toxins, and paralytic shellfish poison is the most serious one we have here in Washington State. We have two others, but the one that's impacting Hood Canal is paralytic shellfish poison. So this is a neurotoxin, and it's fast acting. If people ate shellfish with high levels of this toxin, the first symptoms they would have would be like a tingling or itching in the mouth. And then that would be followed by the same kind of tingling, itching of the fingertips and toes, and it would work up your extremities, and it paralyzes you, hence the name paralytic shellfish toxin. And you would have to seek medical attention. If you ever ate shellfish and had those symptoms, you'd call 911 immediately. And if emergency response came, they would give you oxygen if you lost the ability to breathe, because you can die from this toxin.
Wow. Well, thank you for that information. So how long does this linger? And specifically, let's talk about the Hood Canal area. What's its shelf life?
So every bloom is different, and this is unique to Hood Canal. That's where we're dealing with this bloom right now in Washington State. It is localized specifically in Hood Canal. It started at the beginning of the month of June. Around June 1st, we started seeing trace levels in our mussel monitoring. We use mussels primarily to test shellfish for biotoxins because they're like the canary in the coal mine. They're typically the first species of shellfish to show toxin in the water. And it quickly went up to basically, in some cases, lethal levels in Hood Canal very quickly, especially in the southern part of Hood Canal. Then the whole canal, all the way up to Hood Canal Bridge, is closed. It's very toxic in this area. So every bloom is different. Sometimes they can be short-lived, a few weeks, and they're all over. Other times they can go on for over a month. It all depends on the weather conditions. Weather's a key part of this. If we have really stable conditions like we've been having, not much wind, really flat water, this organism can continue to grow. But this is a very aggressive bloom. Unlike other blooms that we normally deal with, this is coming up really high to dangerous levels super fast, and sometimes those blooms don't last as long, but time will tell. The key to this is just we're doing a lot of monitoring.
Well, how does it specifically impact the shellfish in the Hood Canal area as a whole?
It's a good question. So shellfish are filter feeders. They're filtering a lot of water, and they're filtering out plankton, these particles in the water. That's what they feed on. That's what makes shellfish good and tastes good and a good protein source. Unfortunately, paralytic shellfish poison produces this toxin, the species that produces it. And it's in the water. And it has no effect on the shellfish. The shellfish, sometimes they may slow down a little bit when they open and close and they filter, but really it doesn't kill shellfish. It really just kills animals that may eat the shellfish with high levels of this toxin inside the shellfish. So it's safe for the shellfish, bad for humans.
All right, Jerry, thank you for your insight. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on this, and we hope it gets better.
We do too, and always check our shellfish safety map before you go shellfish harvesting. You can just Google Washington Shellfish Safety Map. It has the current openings and closures for wreck harvesting, and it's the best place to go to be safe before you harvest shellfish.
Thank you for sharing that. We'll see you next time.
All right, thank you. Bye.